welcome to the Mighty Dragon. Today I'm joined by actor Jake Cannavale. Have I said that correct?
You did. You nailed it.
Yeah. Wow, God, that's amazing. How are you? How is New York?
I'm doing well. New York is it's we're entering mid-March, which is the time where it starts getting warm, but like New Yorkers are very aware of this trick by now, so it's suspiciously warm. So,
Yeah.
we're trying to enjoy ourselves a little bit, but it's going well overall.
Good, good. Okay. I've brought you on here to discuss The Mandalorian. As you know, I'm running a series on here, but I'm going to actually touch on a few other things that you've been in and where
Please.
you're from, actually. I'd like to know, first of all, how you got into acting.
Ooh, well, my dad was always an actor, like as far as I knew, and my mother was in the arts as well, and her dad made movies, so I kind of always it was always around me, sort of. So I got into it because when I was a kid, my dad he would be auditioning for stuff all the time, so he would ask me to run lines with him, basically. And when you're 6 or 5 or whatever, you just assume all life is the same. So I just assumed like everybody did that with their kid. Every parent did that with their kid. So I got into it, and then when I got a little older, I was like maybe 10 years old, I found out that like, oh no, I'm the weird one. Like this is the weird. Cool. And I found out that I didn't have to be an actor, and it's not like I was dreading being an actor or excited. I just sort of accepted that, oh, this is just what you do. So that kind of opened my mind up, and I realized, oh wow, I could do anything. So I spent my teenage years sort of dicking around, trying a little bit of everything, and then when I was 16, I just came back around to it on my own volition, and I asked my dad some questions about it, and I was running lines with him again, and I went on an audition, which was for Nurse Jackie, actually, and found out, oh, I really love this. Like, no matter young me was helping you out with this. This was actually pretty cool.
Okay, so that was really good training in advance of your career. So, and would you say being part of an acting family puts more pressure on you, or do you find it more motivating and empowering?
It's a combination of both. I feel like definitely the empowering part is I have an amazing network of resources. My dad is always down to talk to me about the craft and the industry, as well as my mom, as well as my stepmom, my Rose Byrne. So it's been really empowering in the sense that I have that, and I also, because it also helps with the pressure, because it does get a lot, So it's great because I have, nobody's perfect. We're all human. We all have our down times, our sad days, and so it's really great when it does get overwhelming, which it does. I can talk to my dad or Rose or my mom about that, because I know that they've been through the same stuff. So
Wonderful.
It's great. Yeah.
And now, as an established actor yourself, what kind of it attracts you to play a certain character, would you say?
There's a couple things, right? Introvert Jake would love to play characters that no one knows that I'm secretly really like this. And, like characters that maybe have a bit more of the qualities that I subconsciously or sometimes consciously try to hide from the rest of the world, as we all do. So, those are the ones that when I'm working on characters like that, if I'm lucky enough to play them, the process of learning the craft, getting into that character's mindset is a lot more personal and a lot more private. I don't really do as much. I don't share it as much that I'm playing this character, ask for as much help learning how to play it. Extrovert Jake, I like to, we all want to play the craziest guy, Like, of course, I'm not gonna lie and say it's 100% about the arts. I want to be the guy that's gonna look cool on camera,
Yeah.
I absolutely want to, be something explosively, radically different from me, and like let everybody know it. So yeah, it usually falls into a version of one of those two categories. I would say. I was going
to just ask off of a side question from this is, do you find more about yourself by the characters that you play? Would you say it's quite introspective analysis of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. If it depends on a number of factors too. Like I've thankfully worked with very well-written characters, so that definitely helps. And I'm also a paranoid overthinker, which definitely also helps. So I can find meaning or sentimentality or connection in just about anything, blessing and a curse. But yeah, no, it's definitely like Mandalorian in particular was definitely a lesson for me, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think I think everyone has a moment, hope more likely more than one, where your insecurity or your ego gets the better of you. And playing Toro Calican definitely gave me a heightened sense of awareness of that. Yeah.
That's really cool. I read too that you're a musician. And is that your passion? If you had to choose one or the other, what would you do? Would you go the music route or the acting route?
Oh, well, thankfully I don't have to choose, because I play a very particular strain of heavy metal, which will never make me any money. So I can also do it on the side.
Right. Okay.
But, yeah, I love them both, but I will say I'm going to pick music just because I have a lot more freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, like with acting, again, I love it, but like, I've got to audition and I've got to book a thing and I have to have material to act with, which is why I'm a writer as well. But when you're a musician, you can just make music. This is my band, Vixen Maw. We play music called grindcore, which is basically a faster, more angry version of death metal, I guess would be the best way to describe it. And it's great because, again, like it's such a minuscule sliver of music in the grand scheme of things, and it's not profitable at all. So like the good part to that is there's no one telling me how to do it. There's no one leaning over my ear saying, oh, you'll sell more records if you do this, or oh, it'll look better for your image if you do this. Like, no, this is my band, and it's the whole culture of it. The industry of it is very much artist driven, which is a huge relief.
I tell you what,
financially the worst decision I've ever made, and I do not regret any of it. Okay.
I'm gonna find your band and I'm gonna blast it out the windows of my car here in the English countryside. Can you imagine how popular I'll be? I wanted to ask you too about Nurse Jackie and your role in that. Can you just tell us how you got into that? And it's also with your dad as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was when I had come back around to acting. I was 15 or 16, and I was just asking my dad, and he was saying that they were looking for somebody to play his son, and it kind of started out as a joke because I was running lines with them just because, again, that's something we did back in the day, and I thought it would be like, wouldn't it be funny if I played your kid like Hardy Har Har? And I actually really liked this character, and I loved the dynamic. I hadn't seen much of the show, but I loved what Dad had told me about it, and so I asked for an audition, and then they said yes. And then the day before, I kind of panicked and I dyed my hair green for whatever reason, and I thought it was in character,
Good for you.
Yeah. And then they called me back, and this time they said, this time you're gonna be auditioning with Edie Falco. And I was like, oh yeah, cool, like no pressure. That's totally casual. Then I got there, and actually there was no pressure. Edie is still to this day the most relaxed actor I've ever met in her career. She's one of my favorite people. Yeah. So yeah, it was. She genuinely. I don't think I had the vocabulary or the mental articulation space to tell her at the time how easy she made that for me. But yeah, Edie definitely made it a lot less nerve-wracking than I assumed it would have been.
That's so cool. And to put you, made you feel comfortable in that position. And how was it like working with your dad too? Was it any pressure or okay, bit of familiar?
There actually wasn't any pressure, because one thing my father taught me growing up was a good work ethic, which I think that, I've brought onto my jobs as well, like whether I'm working on set as an actor or I'm, bussing tables at a bar, I have the same level of professionalism no matter what across the board, or I try to at least.
Yeah.
And so because I was working with the man who taught me that, I knew exactly how to be on the same page as him, I guess.
Right, got ya. Yeah.
And also it was just like another way to know my dad. Like I know my dad at home. I know my dad as a dad, but I don't know him as a coworker yet.
Okay.
So to explore that relationship, I guess.
That's really interesting what you're saying. I guess he's playing so many different roles in your life, really, isn't he? So, I wanted to touch upon too the Mandalorian, of course, and your character. What was it like being part of the Star Wars universe as Toro Calican?
Oh my God. So like obviously, you know, I'm a Star Wars kid. I grew up with the prequels, as every generation has their era of Star Wars. I had the prequels, which is the hottest take, if you will. It's the most controversial.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an unabashed Star Wars fan. I'm obsessed. I've seen all of them when they came out in theaters. That what I was alive for, obviously. So yeah, when I got the call, I was freaking out. I had all these thoughts. You know, first off is like I was thinking like, oh my God, how does every Star Wars movie start? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far. I live there now. I'm in that galaxy now. That's what? Oh my God, like that includes me now.
Yeah.
I remember like at the end of the day, because I'm not gonna lie, I found out and I was so excited that I went out and I got drunk because I was having got the greatest news of all time. And I remember just like waves of different thoughts hitting me, like, because again, I hadn't seen a script, I didn't know anything. All I knew was that there was a show about an unnamed bounty hunter and I was going to be in an episode. I didn't know anything beyond that. I knew it took place in between the original trilogy and the newest trilogy. And that was it. That was all I knew. But I remember one thing. I remember, oh my God, I'm going to have my own Wikipedia page. That's huge. I go
amazing
for everything whenever I want to know about Star Wars stuff. I'm on that now. Yeah, it was everything your inner child would expect if you told your inner child to be in Star Wars one day. Like you lose all sense of anything. It's just unfiltered raw bliss.
And to me, I feel I'm a first generation, old Star Wars fan. I would say that it's the best Star Wars spin-off.
Undeniably, like no bias. I think Mandalorian is the best. Yeah. I did say I loved Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was one of the better Star Wars movies overall. But yeah, Mandalorian's awesome. It's genuinely badass. And it's truthful. It's true to the source. It's true to the fans. It rarely compromises itself. And we still, every now and then, we get like these little slivers of like old school, we don't talk about it, Star Wars campiness that we all love.
Oh my God, yeah.
Really, it was the complete package overall.
And how about the amazing ending of the last season? Luke Skywalker. I thought I was going to have to go on oxygen.
God. I was with 3 grown men at a house in California when we watched that, and we were all there like working. We had just hung out with some people. We were doing a photo shoot, and then the next morning we all should have been editing and working, but we were like last episode Mandalorian. And again, all of us freaking out. We were getting calls from the people who were supposed to pay us, and we were just like, nope, airplane mode. We just need this. It was beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah, brilliant series. Have you got any behind the scenes memories you can share with us? Mm-hmm. Any special moments?
Oh my God. I mean, there's a million of them. I remember one of the first time I heard Dave Filoni's voice, and I hadn't met him yet. I was excited to meet him because he is, as we all know, he is the GOAT. He is the man to carry on the legacy. Him and Jon Favreau are the perfect duo for this. No bias, obviously. But I remember, so I went to set a day early before I was supposed to start filming, because Mr. Favreau and Mr. Filoni had asked me if I wanted to come just to check it out, ask Star Wars questions. And I was like, yeah, no, I think I can fit that into my schedule. And in my head, I'm like, yes, oh my God, yes, Star Wars, yes. So I get there, and I'm at one of the sound stages, and it's a huge warehouse type thing a giant sand dune, and I guess is where we're going to be shooting part of the scenes on Tatooine. Like the nighttime scenes are in indoor sand, outdoor daytime scenes outdoor sand, whatever. Anyway, there's professional set guys, with brooms and with like shoes that don't leave footprints, like getting sand nice. And I was being led out to say, "Oh, let's go find Mr. Filoni," and I hear him in the distance go, "The sand has to be perfect. It's Tatooine." And I'm like, "Word, it does. That's all they got. That's what Tatooine has. It's like you wouldn't have yellow snow on Hoth. You wouldn't have bad sand on Tatooine." And that's immediately, for some reason, that minuscule sentence just clicked. I was like, all right, this is going to be the greatest couple weeks of my life. We're all going to be on the same page.
Yeah. And will we see you back in it in some form, do you think? Or?
I mean, I hope. I mean,
yeah.
Again, I got shot. But, I mean, who saw snow?
You never know.
Qui-Gon's still alive in the nether regions of the Force. Like, I have no clue what's going to happen, but all I would know is if it did, I would not be happier. Like that would be the best thing.
Yeah, like as a different character, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
I'll voice a droid. I don't care.
At this stage of an interview, I always ask the actor who's been in The Mandalorian I actually say to them what I think who I think their favorite Star Wars character is and who they were as a kid. So can I try and guess yours?
Sure, it's going to be tough, but go ahead.
It's out of two. It's either Qui-Gon Jinn or it's Anakin Skywalker, the Hayden Christensen one. And I don't know if you're going to really hate me now, but...
This was going so well, Vicky. Oh my God.
Sorry about that.
Here's the beauty of Star Wars is like we have all the main guys, but all the Star Wars friends that I talk to, like it's always a minor character because the majority of Star Wars characters are people that show up for a scene or two, and then they have a whole cult of people in real life that worship them. So for me, my favorite Star Wars character has one scene. And it's Dexter Jetster, the owner of the diner in Attack of the Clones. That's right. The dude. He was like an old bounty hunter that went legit, and he bought a diner on Coruscant, serving up Jawa juice to the yuppies, and he's friends with Obi-Wan for some reason. And if you think about it, if he had never told Obi-Wan that he had a Camino saber dart, Obi-Wan never would have gone to Camino, and we would have never had any of the rest of the series. I rest my case. Thank you for coming.
No, I just have one last Star Wars question for you.
Please.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, to me, will always be the late great Alec Guinness. What do you think of Ewan McGregor's portrayal of a young Obi-Wan?
I honestly thought he was... Of all the young Jedis, I thought he brought the most depth to his character. Like you can see Obi-Wan. With everyone else, I sort of got the vibe that like we do this because we are Jedi. We know the Jedi code is strict, and if you can't handle it, get out. What I loved about Obi-Wan was that he had such a bond with Anakin that he could stick to his oath, the Jedi code, but he also sympathized and empathized with what Anakin was going through. He's like, dude, I know that this is hard being a Jedi. I know that you're feeling grief and anger. And unlike Yoda and Mace Windu, they were just like, kid, you got to stop it or you're going to end up going to the dark side. He had patience and he told him, I'm proud of you and I love you and this will all be good. Like he very much brought a sense of humanity. And I think that humanity is what separates a Jedi that the Sith ridicule from the Jedi that actually cares about someone on a human level, not just because the Force tells them to be selfless,
That is a great answer. Thank you so much for your opinion on that.
Yeah, very excited for ObiWan Solo series. Oh my God.
Yeah. They are filming that in London, aren't they?
Oh, you know what? I will say one more Star Wars behind the scenes. We were, or Manda behind the scenes. I was, they were setting up a shot and I was just, I'm on my folding chair, just like texting, whatever, in costume, just get ready for the shot. And I feel a tap on my shoulder and I look up and it's Ewan McGregor. And he literally just goes, hey man, Ewan. And I'm like, It took me, Vicky, I swear to God, it took me every fiber of my being not to go, hello there. I tried so hard. I was like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But yeah, I was like, oh, so good to see you, man. Like, I thought, like, yo, is Obi-Wan in an episode? And it turns out he was just there with his parents because he loved Star Wars and wanted to see the set.
Oh my God, incredible.
Yeah, how awesome
How
is that?
fun. That's amazing. What a great story.
It made me so happy. Like, it made me happier that he wasn't in it. He just wanted to see what was going on.
Amazing. Amazing. Before we wrap this up, I just wanted to ask you what your plans are for the rest of the year.
So we, in terms of acting, I mean, you know, it's just a lot of this job is just waiting and auditioning. So I'm doing that, nothing concrete. I'm working. I've got a couple splits with various grindcore bands for my own band, and then I'll definitely be sure to keep people updated about that. And then this summer, we're finally, after doing all these EPs and singles, we're going to spend this summer to just hunker down, write, create, record our debut full length that'll hopefully be released at the end of this year.
Brilliant. May I wish you the best then for the rest of the year. And I do hope we see you back on The Mandalorian in some form. That'd be amazing. Thank you, Jake. And all the best to you. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you to Jake for his time tonight. And see you soon on The Mighty Dragon.